All praise. Y'all, by show my check out shop, Thumb. We are back at it like Tor Alex out of rehab. Let me do something different in this video. All right. First, we're going to wait for everybody to come in, and we're going to finish our peer review. 1 second. There we go. I haven't been down here for a while. Oh, that's so much better. I haven't been down here for a while. Sorry about all the messy plugs and stuff you can see in the background. Wait a minute. Maybe if I... Oh, no, still can't hide it. So I haven't been down here for a while, so the studio is being... hasn't been used. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Oh, also, and salute. Let me give a salute to our sisters, Rashwan, Rob, and Quadash Yalad. They made this garment, this martial art. I actually got it upside down. They made this martial art garment for me. All right. Y'all get a sneak peek behind the scenes. That's my desk. That's my office. So y'all secretly getting a sneak peek. All right. All right. So. Let me see if I can get this up here. I just gonna have to be where it's gonna be. I'll set it up next time. It's all right. So for right now, we're gonna do our peer review, and all right. So maybe I can make it look a little neater. You know how you're supposed to make your bed, you just kind of put all your stuff under the bed? Yeah, I'm going to be going with that one for right now. There we go. That's a little nicer. All right, that's a little nicer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get it started on the second part of the peer review. We're going to see how the Aquatian did, all right, with the rest of the video. Let's start our screen share. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's share and... All right, and I'm going to turn off this lo-fi music, and let's see. Y'all ready for this? You all be the judge, okay? Let me know how do you, now. What just happened was the daughters in this segment. We have Quadash Yalad, we have Natazar Kataria, we have Amath, along with Nakwa, and we have Rashwan Arab. These women, they all did a reading of the book of Genesis chapter 24, and the council is called Women of Wisdom. And I know what they do is that they help and they bring comfort and counsel to other women, young women, older women. They gave a profession that they never teach men, so that's something that I respected. So in the first video, like I really say, hey, we're not teaching men, we're only teaching women and children. I'm like, okay, that's great. Then they just read the scripture straight through. Now, what we're looking at is the consummation of the marriage of Rebekah and Isaac. Is it true that Isaac just took Rebekah and brought her into the tent and they had sex and that was it? No, that's not true. That's an old school GMS teaching. And there's nothing wrong with GMS. Salute to the brothers of Greater Millstone and those who are sincerely and diligently teaching. Double honors to the elders, those who rule well. That's an old school teaching that, you know, you just take a woman and have sex with her and that's it. Well, these daughters they've been doing research. They, again, in my opinion, we're going to get the whole story. But in my opinion, for what I've seen, I haven't seen no offenses. I haven't seen where they came in and said anything screwy. But now we're at the part of the video where they're going to, you know, give their explanation of what they're reading. Now, when they did their video, they said, we are not teaching men. We are only talking to the children, to the women, and to the children, which would be the young men from 19 years old or from 19 years old on down, under 19. Because according to the Torah, once a man hits the age of 20, now he's a man and he's able to go to war. But if you're 19, you at home, you all big and buff and you all brolicky and you got a full-grown beard, you still up under your mother, baby boy. You're going to be up under your mother for the rest of your life. because you can't go to war in Yasharala till you turn 20. All right. So with that being said, they give a proclamation that they're teaching the women and children only. Let's get to it. Let's see what they say. All right. Put a 7 in the room if y'all can hear good.
I love the fact. I love the fact that it actually tells you here sex is not just marriage. I mean, marriage is not just only sex, because in here it showed he gave him. First she proved herself, because he prayed to Yahweh and he asked for a woman like this. So she proved herself. She proved herself by giving. I mean, he came and asked for which was 44. And 44, he asked, and she said to me, behold, I stand by the well, and the water in it shall come to pass that thou, the virgin, cometh forth to draw water. And I say to her, give me, I pray thee, a little water of the pitcher. And she gave him, not only him, but the camel water, and walking back and forth, just beating the camel back and forth until the camel was tired. So she was humble and grateful. She was humble. And she showed some type of, she showed that not only was she beautiful, he didn't just see beauty, he saw everything else. So
all right, let me pause real quick. So big up to the sister Ma from the tribe of Benjamin. That's a Benjamite sister. All right, this is a moth right here, a moth Banyamyan. So what she's bringing out is how Rebecca was not just beautiful, was not just a virgin. Now you have 2 words for virgin that we've seen in Hebrew so far, and this is where people get mixed up. You have the word na'ira. Some people say na'ira, some people say na'ira, but both of those mean a young lady that's eligible for marriage. Now she's never been penetrated, and she's also young. Okay, the terminology for na'ira today would literally be an adolescent young lady. Okay, so Rebecca was an adolescent. She wasn't in her 20s. She wasn't in her 19s. She was young. All right, that's a fact. So the way that Amath Banyamyan is breaking it down is she's showing us that our mother Rebecca was a hustler. She was polite. She was kind. She was out there getting water for the camels, for the soldiers, and that Eleazar prayed for that before our mother showed up. But let's see what else these sisters have to say. Let's see if they rightly divide the word, okay? And you all be the judge. Listen closely. If they say something that's going hell off, I want you to say so. But if they're doing good, if they're teaching good, and they're speaking to the women and to the children good, then we should encourage them.
She's beautiful, making my rep. He went to test. And she passed.
He's talking humility. Khan.
So like I said, then he gave her the jewelry and precious things, and sex is not just marriage.
Khan. I see, like in the beginning, it says like, why was he sent in the first place? Like in the beginning, his mother just passed, and his father wanted him to be, happy. He didn't want him to be sorrowful. And also we see in, verse 23 where, Abraham not only was, mourning his wife's death, but he also was setting up, a burial for himself as well. Like he was getting prepared to go as well. So he knew that, he's not only is his mom gone, but, he was going to be gone. So he was setting up, the playing field for his son to get started in life, like to go to his next phase in life, in manhood. Then he sent his first faithful servant, who played the
wedding planner.
The wedding planner. Eleazar. And he knew exactly what to do. He gave him instruction. He gave him, like, he was real specific. No women from Canaan, a woman from my kindred, a woman that was willing to go. That she had to be willing to come with him.
And then it just shows you how being obedient in the spirit, because mind you, a prayer was first. He prayed that Isaac receive a woman that's for him, right? Like that's really for him. So we have to start at the fact that there were prayer. It took prayer and obedience within that prayer, because had he taken a woman from Canaan, he would have been going against what Abraham wanted. But it's just showing like being obedient in the spirit and prayer, man. Prayer is really important, because it shows us like that connection, that relationship. Like we know who we are, we know who we're dealing with. Look, Lord, what do I want? Look, this is what I desire. Look, Lord, I don't want Ham. I don't want to deal with Ham. I don't want my children to deal with Ham. So look, Lord, lead my way, direct my steps, and look. If this woman is really sent of you, guess what? She's gonna be working hard. She's gonna be humble. She's gonna be this. She's gonna be that. The specifics, you know, the details, like in prayer. And that's another thing that I'm getting to too. So like reading these words, man, the Torah portion, it really does something to my spirit, because it brings me back to what I need to do. You know, like even in my prayer, sometimes I'm pretty open, you know, but we saw that Abraham. When it came to what he desired for Isaac, he was very specific in what he wanted, you know, for his son. So when we go into prayer, I think it's important for us to be specific in our prayers as well. So, and I yield the floor.
That's an excellent point. Excellent point. It is important for us to be specific in our prayers. Abraham knew what. Here goes something else that was said that I really respected, was that our father Abraham was setting up Isaac for what he wanted for his life in the future. All right. Mother just passed away. Abraham knew. And remember, Abraham was older than Sarah. All right. Abraham was, I think, 100 and Sarah was 99 at the time when she conceived, or 70. You know, I don't have that number memorized yet. But the point is to say that he knew he was older. He was about to pass away. So he was setting his son up, man. And I think that's good. The scripture says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children. But so far, what do you all think? You think these sisters are doing okay so far? Do we need to hear some more? Let them speak a little more? Is this something that you would allow your daughters and your women to be a part of? If they're blatantly saying they're not teaching men, but women and children, and they're encouraging marriage, and they're encouraging obedience, is this something that you would allow your women and your children to be a part of?
Well, you're right. You ask and you should receive.
Come.
And he was diligently he wanted to be good by his master. And he was like the head, he was the oldest, he was like a friend of the family. So he knew he wanted to please him, so he asked you how to please God. So you're right. Prayers do a lot.
And we also see, going along with the sex alone is not marriage, that there was already through the men, there was already a dowry being given, like back in 29 when Rebecca's little brother came out.
Stop. Now, unfortunately, I caught something real quick. And you know, us being men, we're always uh-oh. Bad echo. Dang. I don't know what to do about that. All right. Let me see. Apologetic. Sorry about the echo. Maybe we can fix that somehow. I don't know how, though. Let me know if it's still echoing. Let me know. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and mute that. Is it still echoing now? I think I know what the problem was. Now, is it still echoing? All right. So with that being said, I did see something. The sister said that Rebecca's little brother. Now, us being a men of Yashala, we're going to, you know, as we have to go through it, you know, the daughters, they're going to go through it too. All right. But she said Rebecca's little brother. Now, not when I speak. Okay. So it wasn't Rebecca's little brother. All right. Laban was not Rebecca's little brother. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that Laban was Rebecca's little brother. I actually think that she was the younger. All right, but we'll get back to that and see. I'm gonna play more of the video. Let me know if it echoes. Okay, let's see.
You know, he already knew what was going on, and then the man came with the provender and the straw. God. So all of this is being set up before.
All right, is it echoing now?
Isaac even took her as it is.
So we see that they feasted, right? We see when they feasted together before she knew who she was even giving away to.
Take it to the beginning, though. Like you said prayer. You said he came with gifts. Like Eliezer left the house with gifts intended for. So that endowing or that dowry given. That was all a preparation before he even went.
He didn't go there. He went in there and went and grabbed up and said, "Come on with me. Get on this camera. Let's go. We're going to somewhere. We're going to go somewhere. You're going to get laid." And he grabbed her and he had sex with her. He didn't do any of that. He went to a whole ritual. It was nobody to lay with somebody. Oh, she's beautiful. I'm about to hit that. I'm about to make her my rib. He didn't do any of that. He went to a ritual. The stuff went the way he had to go through. And then when she got there, she had put a veil over her face. As soon as I was walking down, she said, "Who is he?" And then she put a veil to cover his face. So everything was in order. It was nobody laid down, nobody hit it, nobody did anything. They went through the father, went to the uncle, the uncle and the father. He asked, and then before he left, he said, "Can I go?" He asked again. So because everything was done in order, it was nobody just laid down. It was a commitment, and she agreed to it.
Very good.
Jesus laid there and was like, "Oops, you my rib now." He said, "Wait, what? What happened? What took place?" She actually agreed to it. So a lot of girls going about saying that that's a lot of marriage out there, Jen. A lot of men out there saying, "I laid with this, that's my rib. I laid with her, she's my rib." But because you lay with somebody who's make your rib, you made her into a hooker. Not a rib.
I just really want to go back to the fact that how humble she was, because mind you, her being at the well, like the work that she had to put in to even draw water, like they keep getting to me like her humility is really what caught Eleazar's attention, because he's like, man, this woman is really humble. Like, okay, so maybe this.
Could have told a stranger to her. It could have been a homeless guy on the street asking for water, but deep down he's from a rich man's palace coming over here, but she don't know that. She humbled herself down to a man that she didn't even know.
And so that's what's getting me though, because we have a lot of sisters in this walk, a lot of daughters, we forget that we are servants, although we have been taken advantage of, and this is not to go there, but it's just to show us that our whole existence is to be a possession, right? So
now, of course, me being a husband, me being a man, I think that was a smooth, beautiful statement for a woman to say, is that women forget that they're servants. And that's not all women, because you have some daughters who are currently living their lives to be the best servants of Yahweh and to their families and to their husbands that they can be. And we salute those sisters. And like the Aquaf said, women do forget, that they are servants, born servants. All right. And I really think that was a beautiful statement to make. And I encourage other daughters, take on that same mentality. Okay. Because it's the man's job to actually lead you in the right ways of the Most High, in the way. All right. So when we look at the story of Abigail and Nabal, all right, Abigail was a good woman, and Nabal, as we know, was a straight up fool. But that didn't stop Abigail from being a good woman or being a good servant. Great job.
To serve, like she understood her placement from the beginning. Like she you want water? Say let's get some water. The camel's thirsty? Say let's get some water. There was no. We didn't see where she was like, let me think about it. Let me go. It was straight to she saw that this man needed her services, so that was stuck with me too. And then I'm reading here, Genesis 24 and 30, and it was like, and it came to pass where she had the earrings and the bracelet. And, basically what Natazar was saying, like they recognized what was going on when they saw the earrings and the bracelets on her.
She need let back in.
Oh.
And then, like, going along with her humility, that also shows that that's how she was raised.
Excellent point. And what the sister Ashwan just said is that the daughters of Israel, from what I got from that, is that the daughters of Israel should be raised to a better or raised in a higher standard. Okay, I think that was an excellent point.
Bring it out.
That's the difference between women then, women now, and coming into the truth. If you're not being led and taught the right way, then you're going to you're still going to be that old person. So that's why it's important for us to teach our daughters how to be. That's why a lot of, you know, us now that are just coming to the truth or new to the truth or been in the truth, because I've been in it for a minute and I'm still learning every day. But it just goes back to that. Had I been raised in the truth, I probably would have done a lot of stuff different. I know I would have done a lot of stuff different. So for those, you know, young girls growing up in the truth, coming in, being born into the truth, like that's a blessing, because they're going to be God. That's how they're going to be raised.
That was excellent. That was an excellent point. If anybody has any disagreements, you know, put your comment up in the room. All right. It's so far what I hear, these daughters haven't said anything out of the way. All right, go ahead.
Sarah, back and forth, you're right. Before you hear that?
Like that. I feel like, man, like, first of all, she had all these great qualities, like, and that's the thing that got her chosen. You know, she came in, like, first of all, she was found working. Already.
Right.
And, you know, it goes back to that Proverbs 31 woman. Like, she found being found working. Not only that, but she was a servant. Like, she gave. She didn't say, get your own water, Eleazar.
I didn't know you. I don't know you all.
I don't know you, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I looked up, like, about the camel. Like, I was like, you know, it was a couple of camel, right? And I was reading about the camel, and it was saying that, first of all, camels can drink up to 30 gallons in one sitting.
Wow. That's a lot.
So each of the camels was drinking 30 gallons of water. She was going back and forth. Now, we know the pictures that they had back in the day, and I'm sure 30 gallons was not a 30-gallon picture that she had.
Right.
She was going back and forth, and these camels drank 30 gallons of water in one sitting. They said it take them 10 minutes to drink 15 gallons. So they just going in, and she just going back and forth. She ain't said, like, her spirit the whole time was not like, I'm tired. Look, I already got my own work to do. I ain't going to help you. She was so very patient, you know what I mean? Like, she just, you know, did it. And she was a willing worker, you know what I'm saying? Who is not looking for somebody who was willing, and, you know what I'm saying, and who's not a servant.
That's absolutely beautiful. I think that if I was in a community, and I know if I was in a community and that there were women who were teaching and speaking to this degree that were encouraging other women, I would work to keep that community together. For what I see so far, these daughters haven't said anything that's brought separation. I see joy in their faces. The scripture says wisdom lightens a man's eyes. All right. I don't see no spiteful, neck rolling, poo-poo, mean talking women on here. All right. This is actually, I'm very impressed. This is a good counsel. What do you all think? What's your opinion?
Like, those are like two innate qualities that you have to have. Those two qualities cannot be taught. Those are not taught qualities. You gotta, it's gotta be in you to want to do, right? And the same thing even with the Most High. Like, we gotta want the script. We got to want His word. We have to want Him. We have to, you know what I mean? We gotta ask for certain things.
Well, we can be taught how to serve, right? But this the thing. So
I like that. All right. What I just noticed was that one sister had a statement. Another sister had a statement. They didn't necessarily disagree, but the one Aquath, she said, well, hold on. This is my thoughts on that. All right. Let's see how she handles that. All right. Do these sisters do good with taking correction from each other? All right. Is the sister about to bring out a good point? All right. And what do you all think? Do y'all think that that's an innate ability that you were born with to just want to be a good servant? Or do you think that women grow up and become good servants?
It was the humbleness, because, like, even so, for instance, you know how children, we have to show children how to do things. So we can be taught how to serve. It's just a lot of times serving comes with rebellious. It's like, I got to do this. Do you want, you know what I mean? So the fact that there weren't any rebellion in her, the like you said, she was a servant and she was humble. You know, because
she's raised. And she was raised for that. But he said, he said child. So he's talking a child. The child is willing to learn. But you get from children not getting very stubborn too.
Willing to learn and willing to serve.
God. So what she did was like it gotta be a personality thing too.
Right.
Because there's a lot of we gotta do the personality thing too.
So what I want to do, I want to get a breakdown. I mean, not the breakdown, but I wanted to go into dowry real quick since we on because we want to all bring this back of how sex alone is not marriage. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just break down what dowry is real quick. So and y'all help me with my pronunciation. If y'all good with Hebrew, come on, y'all gotta help me. So so we see that dowry in Hebrew means, let me see, am I sharing my screen with y'all or no?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to share my screen with y'all. Y'all let me know when y'all see it because I want to let people see the breakdown real quick as I go along, and y'all can help me read if y'all good with the Hebrew. Okay, can y'all see my screen now?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm over here responding like I'm watching live. I turned around like, Con, yeah, we can see it, sis.
So dowry, so the transliteration in Hebrew would be mohar. Let's see.
Roll it.
Mohar. Okay. And so when we go down, y'all know y'all know the word, the letters. Okay, Salakia. Okay, so
now I will say this: if these daughters are going to be continuing with this ministry, women of wisdom, they have to get their Hebrew up. You cannot properly teach this ministry without having a basic knowledge of Hebrew. So if there's any daughters that are out there who support this or think that this is a good thing, and if you're good at your Hebrew, then give a handout to these sisters because it's easy to read it in English. And sometimes it's a challenge to read in English, but to be able to break it down in a native language that it was written in, that's truly a sign of diligent study. All right, just like I have to practice math. Math is a whole nother language that I don't understand yet. But when it comes to the language of Lashawan Kodash, I take my time. I have a passion for it. So if you are a daughter and you know how to read or speak or teach in Hebrew, reach out to these sisters. All right, reach out to them and offer them some assistance. All right, and then what's your opinion so far? Are these daughters doing good?
When we read dowry, right, it means to purchase, price for wife, or giving something. It's to purchase something. It's to give in order to receive. So we see that there were dowry being given to receive Rebecca. Let me see. Mahar, a price for a wife, a dowry. So let's go bargain. A bargain. So what did he bargain? So the question would be, so what did they give for Rebecca? So, if I'm asking, so sex alone, not marriage, we see at the end they went into the tent. So what happened prior to? Like, what was the dowry that was given? Help me understand. Where were the dowries? Tons. We just want to make sure that people understand that sex alone is not marriage, and that there were dowries given, that there were bargains made, that there were exchanged goods that took place for Rebecca. So okay, so I got that. Let's see. All right, so let's get it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick. So where y'all want to go? Are we going into y'all want me to do? I'm gonna do the breakdown of endowed as well since I'm already here. Is that okay with y'all?
Yes. Are we reading Deuteronomy 22 right now?
No.
We could.
So I'm gonna break down endowed, and then we're gonna summarize Genesis, so that the people know that Rebecca was given away properly, and then to move forward. So just so the people know. So endowed, the Hebrew word for endowed is mahar. Okay. And so we see that that's a verb. It's a primitive.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. The daughter did a good job of reading and translating. Just by me listening, she did a good job of reading and translating the Hebrew. All right. I can see that that was something that whether it was from a little study or if she's well-rounded, her pronunciation was very good. All right. Very good. Excellent.
Root. Okay, so we're going to keep going because my Hebrew is not that well. And so here we see where endowed means to obtain or acquire by paying purchase price, give a dowry. We just broke down what dowry meant was to bargain, you know, to give goods in exchange, where it says here to obtain in exchange. So, you know, the people know what a dowry is or what to be endowed mean, you know, so that the people know that Rebecca was given away properly, you know. Keep going. And so here it says, let's go to, I'm gonna read a little bit off of Jusinius. So Jusinius says to buy, especially a wife. It says especially a wife, a rib, to buy, especially a wife for a price paid to the parents, y'all, to the parents, to the kindred, to the parents, not the elders,
not to the elders of the camp.
You better bring it out. Not your neighbors. Not your neighbors, not your elders, not your camp congregation, not your friends. It's to your kindred, to your.
I think that's an excellent point. Again, to read the definition of dowry, and in the process of reading the definition of dowry, to explain who the dowry goes to. That was very spiritually and educationally. That was very mature. Let me get up for a second. I just had a revelation. I'm gonna redo my setting, and let me minimize this for a second. I'm gonna go back over here and see. All right, can everybody see and hear me? And it looks like you can. All right, so I think I'm gonna redo my setting and start doing my teachings from right here at the desk. Set my books up, get some more lighting in here, and then make it to where you all can see and hear better. So far for what I've seen, this is going very well. Also, I had to pause. I'm gonna need to get a cord, an extension cord, an HDMI cord. That's an extension I can do from the desk right here, and then I'll be able to teach more accurately. It's time to grow up a little bit, and I feel like that's what's happening. The sister said "la," which means it's not echoing. Okay, so let's get back to it. Great job for the daughters who brought forth this information. I commend you. Shalom.
Parents, you know, it says to buy, especially a wife, for a price paid to the parents. Not your friends, not your elders, not your next time. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and then we can
he was the head of that. I guess at the time head of household at that point.
Which was a kindred, right?
It was her father and her uncle. It was Bethel, and which is her father, and
it was Laban, right?
Yeah, she said the head of household was Laban. But I told her that who went up to Eliezer, who saw Eliezer and Rebecca first was the little brother.
Yeah. Okay, good. So in Genesis chapter 23, we see where the servant Eleazar was on a mission, right? He was on a mission to find a rib for Isaac, which is Abraham's son. So within it, he had instructions. The instructions given was for him to. Anybody want to help me with the instructions on what Eleazar was told while on his journey, while on his mission?
Could be a Canaanite woman.
Or
had to be someone of the kindred of his household. And she had to be willing to follow.
And to go to his country. But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a rib unto my son. And so couldn't dwell because in the son. And it said that thou shalt not take a rib unto my son, of daughters of the Canaanites. A month whom I dwell.
You know, that's interesting too, because they were in Canaan.
It was an Africa, yeah, it was
Mites. So it also gives us an example of how we deal when we in somebody else's land, like how we supposed to deal with one another. Like Abraham, you know, he did business, he bargained with we see him doing that in 23. He's bargaining with him. He paid for he didn't own the land there. He had been sojourning there, so he, you know, paid for Sarah and his flock to be buried. But he did not want his son to marry one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's certain, we got certain standards that are set, or certain examples that we see of how we're supposed to conduct ourselves, even when we are dealing with, we are in the land of somebody else. Even when we're conducting business with Gentiles, he wasn't mean with them. He wasn't disrespectful. You know, he went to them. He asked. He's like, "Look, I need some land. I'm here. I'm sojourning," and they welcomed him. And they respect him because they was like, you are a wise man. You a good dude. Like, they acknowledged who he was. They knew who he was. They respected Abraham. You know, all of that stuff happened way before. You know how I guess everything is an example of how we should live, how we should carry ourselves, you know, and there is complete instruction on how we are to conduct ourselves, you know, as children of the Most High.
So you brought me to when you were speaking about how honorable Abraham was and how people, when he asked for land and he asked for somewhere to stay, when he asked, he was given, right? That's because he honored the Most High, right? He did everything right, you know. So it just goes to show when I'm talking about the man, when a man is fearful of Yahweh and is serving Yahweh for real, that honor that's instilled in him, everyone sees it. So everyone wants to follow. So everyone is going to be, you know.
I think that's an excellent point. Once again, and I want to once again commend the daughters for their reverence of the husbandmen, of the families. I haven't heard them break down or tear down or make no snide remarks towards any masculine figures at all whatsoever. I got a message from Nawa, and she says she believes that her sisters did a wonderful, excellent job, and I think that they're doing an excellent job also. What sayest thou, Yashala? Are you all comfortable with how these women of wisdom are bringing out this word, teaching women and children, or would you say that they're going off?
Oh, okay, yeah, come. You need this, come. Even if it's not your land, it wasn't his land. Like you said, that wasn't even his land. He asked for land, you know, and they gave it to him because he was an honorable man. So that goes to show that it starts with the men too. Like, we serve, you know, we got a place, but men got to get it together too. You know, so that just to go, Abraham, he was an honorable man, and everything trickled down from that. His servant was honor him as well, because the servant honored him. He was able to go out and respectfully find a woman for his son, you know. So everything goes back to the man. The man, he had it all together, you know, and everything else came right after that. So, and I hear the floor.
That was good.
All praise. Josephus. Let me bring up Josephus.
Flavius Josephus was a master historian that was a Levite. He was a Negro who taught the children of Israel, and he taught the Greeks. He went into captivity because he was a genius, and he was one of the generals of the army. He was also a general that was in charge of the first Sakari, the school that was called, well, the community that was called Scoundrels and Robbers and Murderers was the original name for Sakari. It wasn't a good name. So Eleazar, who was one of the priests at the time, was a part of that specific community, and Flavius Josephus worked closely with him. So if we read Flavius Josephus's writings, we will be learning about the not only historical parts, but we'll be learning about the cultural parts. And to see that these women are going from the Bible to Flavius Josephus, they didn't go to the book of Enoch, they didn't go to the book of Jasher, they didn't go to the book of Jubilees. They said that they're teaching the women and the children only. That's a really nice screenshot where that's paused at. That's a good picture. That should be taken and made into like some type of image to help other women of wisdom. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing in this video so far. I'm gonna try to get through this. This is probably gonna be an all-night thing. Probably gonna have to be a part 2 and a part 3, part 4. But so far, this is excellent. What do you say, Yashala? Are these sisters doing good, or are they going off?
You ready?
We're ready.
Ready.
It's book 1. Antiquities of the Jew.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen for the people that's watching. Shabbat Shalom, Miss Judah. Shabbat Shalom, Na'awa.
Na'awa.
This book right here.
Shalom, Na'awa.
It's the works of Josephus. If you're going to read them, there you go. So it's Antiquity of the Jew, book 1, chapter 16. Now Abraham, the father of Isaac, had resolved to take Rebekah, who was granddaughter to his brother Noah, for a rib. Nahor. So I said Nahor for a wife. For a wife to his son Isaac, who was then about 40 years old, and he sent the agents of his servants to betroth her, after he had obliged him to give him the strongest assurance of his fidelity. He goes, my eye.
Fidelity. The strongest assurance of his fidelity.
Which assurance were giving after the manner following. They put each other's hand under each other's thigh. Then they called upon Elihiah as the witness.
Remember, this goes with Deuteronomy 23 and 20. Deuteronomy 23, verse 1 to 2, and Deuteronomy 24. This is, let me back in off the Flavius Josephus giving you the details. Genesis 23, 1 to 2, and Genesis 24. And to give you the breakdown of it, of exactly the age of Isaac and exactly details. So the part you read it.
Okay.
He also sent such presents to those that were there as were esteemed, on account that they either rarely or never were seen in that country. The servant go thither not under a considerable time, for it required much time to pass through Mesopotamia, in which it is tedious traveling, both in winter, for the depth of the clay, in the summer for want of water. And besides this, for the robberies there committed, which are not to be avoided by travelers, but by caution beforehand. So there was robberies going on, and he had all that.
Yeah, he went through there. It was a cold summer.
That was an excellent point that the princess just brought out in the Qua, was that there were robberies happening while traveling through Mesopotamia, and also that Eleazar knew that his journey was about to be a dangerous one. Okay. Another interesting thing is that the snow is mentioned, but the snow is called the clay. All right. So this was a dangerous travel that Eleazar and the soldiers did. But watch this. This was also a dangerous journey that Rebecca did to come back. All right. This is pretty good. I'm really good. I'm grateful about this. I'm checking the messages as I watch this. We're getting some very good replies. All praise the Most High.
It was tedious. Like he said, the travel was tedious for him. So the servant, he did a lot just to get to Rebecca, just to get to Abraham sent them out. So he said the vision had not there. So you know, somebody's coming to rob him. What are you going to do? He's going to fight back, right? So he went there, like, so he came in. He went to do his duty with his master told him to do, and he went through a tedious travel. So like she said, went through winter, robbery, summer for water, went for water, and he did a lot to just get to Rebecca. So remember now, he's going to Rebecca. So just throw something he's getting through, man.
However, the servant came to Haran, and when he was in the suburbs, he met a considerable number of maidens going to the water.
So he just seen Rebecca was the first one he seen. He seen a whole bunch of them, and he had to look all of them up and down. And remember, he He's seen a lot. So he ain't just using a look. See, like, oh, she got a big booty. He ain't just seeing all of that. He's looking for details today. So he's all debating. Go ahead.
He therefore prayed to Yahweh that Rebekah might be found among them.
So he's praying. Then please show me the right. Show me out of all these women. Please show me who's the one.
Or her whom Abraham sent him as his servant to espouse to his son, in case his will were that this marriage should be consummated, and that she might be made known to him by the sign, that while others denied him water to drink.
So he was denied. He was denied by plenty of women. He came over like, I don't know who you are. Oh, you look homeless. You look for a mother guy. He's just traveling. So he had a stink, right? So he's like a homeless guy. He's like one of the homeless people sitting in the corner talking about, I work for a burger. So he's like one of those people right now at this point. So he all looked at him and was like, ew, no, what? Get away. You probably threw water on him. Somebody probably threw something. So he's saying, excuse me, I'm thirsty, dehydrated. He's like, yeah. So the stopped asking how thinking that time. So he finally go ahead.
That while others denied him water to drink, she might give it him. With this intention, he went to the well and desired the maidens to give him some water to drink. But while the others refused on pretense that they wanted it all at home and could spare none for him, he
said, "Oh, this is my household, not for you. You just come from the store and you bought your bag of groceries. You have 4 boxes of cereal in there. Somebody, excuse me, I'm hungry. Or you want no, this is for my lobby. Or you want to take one of the boxes out here, so I can't eat that box of cereal." That's pretty much what he did.
I gotta say this. I've seen this sister Amath Banyamyan. I've seen her teach the Torah portion to women and children on a few different occasions, and she does a very good job. She's animated. She's funny. She gives good examples. When it comes to reading, she comes out of history. Flavius Josephus very well. So again, salute to these daughters. All of them are doing a great job. I am very content with what I'm seeing so far. But what sayest thou, Yasha Allah? Are these sisters going off?
He said, no, it's for my household. It's not for you. No, get away.
Can we go back for just a second where it says, he therefore prayed to Yahweh that Rebekah might be found among them, or her whom Abraham sent him as his servant to espouse to his son, in case his will were that this marriage could be consummated. So we got to remember also that Rebekah got to go back with him to do everything that he just came through.
That's a very good point. That sister Ashwan Irab, she's very analytical. The Most High has given her a gift for analyzing. I've seen her teach Yaladium and children on a lot of different occasions. And whenever she goes through scriptures, even when I'm studying with her myself, she does a great job of breaking things down and saying, well, hey, wait a minute. What about this? What about this? What do you think about that? What about this? You know, so, and we need that. You know, we need that. We need daughters that are going to pay attention, that are going to study, that are going to look at details, that are going to ask questions. I think these sisters are doing a great job. What sayest thou? Are these sisters going off?
Yes, she has, not only in the Most High. The faith that she's going to have, you know, in that man taking her back to Isaac. For me, it just all goes back to Salafia's grandson. He's louder than me. You know, it just goes back to like, for me, it's just how she was raised. Like, I do believe that you can be taught this, and I do believe that you are born with it as well. Like, you're just, you know, personality. That's just her personality. But
that's a personality.
You know, we just have to remember that she's about to travel back,
right?
You know, and go through everything that just went through the robberies and all of that. So, I mean, she was brave. Like, you called her brave earlier.
So in Josephus, we're basically reading the end of what Eliezer had to get to her, you know. So here we just read like it wasn't as simple as it seemed, you know. So here it's just details of what was going on.
Just
an example of trust in the process.
Detail the story. Like when we just read it in the scripture, we just get the accounts. We read it in these apocryphal books. You get like the background story. No, it wasn't easy getting to her. No, it wasn't easy getting her back to her.
But they trusted the process. Like that's an example of trusting the process and knowing like there was an order to things that everyone in Israel knew, and there's a way that we needed to follow. And nobody's out here rogue just doing what they want to do and making up things as they go. This is something. If it was, then nobody would understand what was happening. We saw that with Laban running to him. Oh, I know what this is. I see that jewelry. There's a dowry. I know what we're about to do. Like everybody knew what was going on at that point. When she took the earring and the bracelet, she knew. You know what I mean? Like there was a order. Everybody knows. Like he said, "Will you go?" And she was like, "Oh, I know what this is. Yes, I'll go." Like it's a process and an order. People out here in Israel just doing what they want to do, making it up as they go. Just live free and do what we want to do and do what we feel and all this other stuff. Let your hair hang down. Nah, it's a process. There's rules to this. There's order to this. And if we come to the point where we understand that, like, when people come to the understanding that, we are the children of Israel, this is what we do. We follow the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and that there is a process and an order to everything. Like, everybody needs to be, like, aware of that. Like, it ain't no make it up as you go. Read the scriptures, and you will see the process which you should follow in all things. Like,
excellent point. That sister that just spoke, that's Akwath Natazar Kataria. Natazar Kataria means set apart crown. Natazar is another way of, it's an entryway of saying Nazarite. Kataria is a feminine context for the name Stephen. All right. Stephen and Stephanie both mean crown. So Natazar Kataria, set apart crown. For what I've seen, she's a very anointed encourager and a sister who the Most High used to start the Women of Wisdom Council. And for what I've seen thus far, all right, they have a conference call called Women of Wisdom. I might be getting this incorrectly, but they have a Zoom council called Women of Wisdom. And every account of all of the ministries that I've seen Natazar Kataria on, everybody's always encouraged. All of the women are bigged up. Nobody's light is dimmed. There's never any arguments. There's never any doctrinal, well, hey, other people teach this, but, the men might say this, but we're going to say this. Like, I've seen examples of good, godly teachings from these women. So for what I've recognized so far for this council of daughters, it seems to be a very good and encouraging thing, which I, for one, am and will be supporting so far. If I see anything that's off, I'm going to speak on it. But that's just me. What do you see so far, Yashala? Are these sisters going off?
I yield the floor. All right, we need to read.
I don't know how to say this. The Antiquities of the Jews, Book 1, Chapter 16, Verse 2.
Verse 2, line 246.
One only of the company rebuked them for their
peevish. Peevish, it means childish.
Peevish behavior towards the stranger, and said, "What is there that you will ever communicate to anybody, who have not so much as given the man some water?" She then offered him water in an obliging manner, and now he began to hope that his grand affair would succeed, but desiring still to know the truth. And he commended her for her generosity and good nature, that she did not scruple to afford a sufficiency of water to those that wanted it.
So she was stingy. She was humble. He was thankful for her generosity at this point.
Though it cost her some pains to draw it.
Remember you said, Captain, that she had to go back and forth?
Yeah.
So she told
those pictures were 30-gallon pictures.
Yeah, so she was going back and forth, carrying them back and forth, water after water. So it shows here that it's showing in detail what happened. Like you said, you're right. She was going through a lot just to get the helping them, but she ain't complaining.
Though it cost her some pains to draw it, and asked who were her parents and why, and wished them joy of such a daughter.
Pleasantly. I can't wait till somebody says to me about my daughter.
And mayest thou be espoused, said he, to their satisfaction, and to the family of an agreeable husband, and bring him legitimate children. Nor did she disdain to satisfy his inquiries, but told him her family. They say she called me Rebecca. They say she called me Rebecca. My father was Bethuel, but he is dead. What? And Laban is my brother, and together with my mother takes care of all our family affairs, and is the guardian of my virginity.
So who's the guardian of virginity?
The brother.
The brother. So those will protect the sister, about to make sure that no man comes up to her, supposed to protect her all the time. So,
and looking in the scriptures, it seemed like the father was there 1 second and then he wasn't. Almost like he died in between the process or something like that.
And see, I'm glad that the sister said that. That means she's being observant. So we don't have a record of the father being here during this time frame as far as his death. But in the Torah, it says that that Laban and Bethuel said. But also, this could be that Bethuel was speaking for Laban, and Laban wasn't there. I don't know.
I want to study that. I really want to read try to find in the historical documents, because the Bible doesn't necessarily explain what happened to Bethuel, between that point. But then Laban took over, because Laban is the one who met him, because usually it would have been Bethuel who had met Eleazar, but it was Laban who met her. So something happened in between the process where Bethuel wasn't there.
So I think it do say when Nicole was saying her father, it does say that. I was reading, yeah. Then Laban and Bethuel answered, so he was there.
Right, but then it was like he drops off at some point, like he was there and then he wasn't.
Yeah, I was saying he was there. I think that's what Nicole was trying to say when she got cut off. He was there as well with Laban.
And see, what just happened was Natazar Kataria and Rashwan had an agreeable disagreement to where neither one of them actually spoke to disagree, what it sounds like to me. But Natazar Kataria was saying, hey, listen, it sounds like he wasn't there, but it was mentioned about him being there. And then Rashwan's just saying what Nakwa just read says that he was there. I see what both of them are saying. I'm going to stand more on what Natazar Kataria was saying. And the reason being is because when you look at the text in Genesis, it says, it doesn't say that he was there. Or does it say that he was there? Flavius Josephus says that out of Rebecca's testimony was that her father was dead. So, this is something that's worth investigating. And the reason being is because I feel that we should never stop looking for the details in the scriptures. All right, I yield.
But then we see
even though he do, in the process of, just disappears, we still see where Laban was responsible for her, So it's still the proper order. So I'm gonna go back. It's a lot.
So it's the brother. It's the father, and if the father's not there, then it's the brother.
And Antiquities of the Jew, chapter 16, line, the Antiquities of the Jew, book 1, chapter 16, verse 2, line 249.
When the servant heard this, he was very glad at what had happened, and at what was told him, as perceiving that Eliah had thus plainly directed his journey, and in producing his bracelets and some other ornaments, which it was esteemed decent for virgins to wear. He gave them to the damsel by way of acknowledgement, and as a reward for her kindness in giving him water to drink, saying it was but just that she should have them, because she was so much more obliging than any of the rest. He desired also that he would come and lodge with them, since the approach of the night gave him not time to proceed further. In producing his precious ornament for women, he said he desired to trust them to none more safely than to such as she had shown herself to be, and that she believed he might guess at the humanity of her mother and brother, that they would not be displeased from the virtue he found her in, for he would not be burdensome, but would pay the hire for his entertainment and spend his own money. To which she replied that he guessed right as to the humanity of her parents, but complained that he should think them so harmonious, so as to take money for that he should have all on free cost. But she said she would first inform her brother Laban, and if he gave her leave, she would conduct him in. As soon then as this was over, she introduced the stranger, and for the camels, the servants of Laban brought them in and took care of them.
So she waited for permission to bring him in the house, to bring him in, correct? So she just, before for him to come in the house, she waited for permission from my brother. So that's also, like I said, that's also good, but not also obedience. Like Rashomon said, personality. So all this plays a part in the woman's part too. When it comes down to sex is not just marriage, a woman don't go just opening legs for everybody. Every single person you meet, and everybody's not your husband. Everybody don't take it to your home. Everybody don't. So like I said, it comes down to the woman and the man. Taught very well. The woman has to be raised into not raised into the truth. I was going to say raised into the truth. And they're the truth. The truth. When there's a lot of females out there that it's become not parenting for both angles, men and women. Both angles, both can play the part. So and here show that she waited permission from her brother before he let him in the house. Yeah.
And he was himself brought into supper by Laban. And after supper he said to him, and to the mother of the damsel, addressing him to her, Abraham is the son of Sarah, and a kinsman of yours. For Nahor, the grandfather of these children, were the brother of Abraham, by both father and mother, upon which account he have sent to me, being desirous to take this damsel for his son to wife. He is his legitimate son, and is brought up as his only heir. He could indeed have had the most happy of all the women in that country for him, but he would not have his son marry any of them.
Remember, the country he was in the country that he was in was Canaanite, so he was Hamite. So he could have any of them he wanted, but that's not what happened. So I was just explaining here, telling us that he had journey to go get him a bed. That's from his kinsman, that's kingship. So they came from the kinsman, they came from his country that he was raised from.
He desired him to match here, whose affection and inclination I would not have you despise, for it was by the good pleasure of Alahiah that other accidents fell out in my journey, and that thereby I lighted up upon your daughter in your house. For when I was near to the city, I saw a great many maids coming to a well, and I prayed that I might meet with this damsel, which has come to pass accordingly. Do you therefore confirm that marriage, whose espousal hath been already made by a divine appearance, and show the respect you have for Abraham, who have sent me with so much solicitude, and giving your consent to the marriage of this damsel, upon that they understood it to be the will of Alahiah, and greatly provided of the offering, and sent her daughter as was desired. Accordingly, Isaac married her, the inheritance being now come to him, for the children of Keturah were gone to their own remote habitations.
Hallelujah.
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 See, in here, so nobody laid.
Now, let me give another commendation. That daughter read from the book of Flavius Josephus, and even though she read at a steady pace, she was consistent. I believe that that's worthy of acknowledgement. I don't know how many young families, daughters, ribs, women are reading out of Antiquities books. I was able to actually sit here and zone out and get a few things done while I was listening. I've been listening intensively, and I still haven't heard anything wrong. So I want to listen to the explanation that these sisters give next, and I want to see if this is something that I would like to continue participating, allowing. For what I've seen, I am going to encourage this ministry. Women of wisdom, to me, seems to be something that the daughters of Israel need. All right. I don't have any problem with saying if something is wrong or not. And so far, I don't see any error. If you do, if you think these sisters are off, please let it be known. I'm going to watch this last part of the review, and I'm going to end the video, and I'll be sharing this link to this actual video. And if anybody is sincere about wanting to learn, we have ministers that are here to help. And yes, women are ministers also. Women ministered unto the Lord and to the men that were with him. All right. So with that being said, it's time to grow up, Yasha'Allah. And we have to, if our daughters are going to minister, they do need to be up under supervision so that they can have someone to hold account for them. All right, a head. All right. If they are going to continue this council, there needs to be, this council of women needs to be supervised up under who I would suggest Marshal Yasha'Allah or Banya Yasha'Allah council to help with getting this word spread out and helping other women. Let's see what else they say. I've been hearing nothing bad. Do you all think that they're going off? What's your opinion?
With anybody without permission, nobody went and just, it was done in order. And it took a lot just to get this one woman. I mean, the servant went through a lot to go get her. He got her and brought her back. Like I said, it was nobody laying with anybody, just laying with anybody and saying this. We married.
So we can see there for those who are just joining in, we just went over Genesis 23, where it just broke down how Eleazar was given instruction by Abraham to find a rib for Isaac and what he had to go through, and basically, you know, the things that were given in place, what took place in the midst of Eleazar going to find a rib for Isaac. So what Naquan just read was what was it? Josephus, Antiquities,
Book 11.
So
Book
what's
one. Book one.
Book 1, chapter 16.
Excellent.
Where it was just giving details on what happened during his travels, and basically, it was just giving more details. So for those who just joining in, that's where we at. Shabbat Shalom to those who I haven't already addressed.
Amar, can you recall that so I can put it in the chat? Because I thought it was 11.
Antiquities Jews, book 1, chapter 11, chapter 16.
Book 1, chapter 16.
And also, we're going to have a apocrypha. This reminds me of Book of Tobit too, as well. The book of
Great job. Great job. I was wondering if that was going to be mentioned. When we go to the Book of Tobit, we do see that there is a marriage ceremony that also happened in the Book of Tobit. This isn't an isolated incident. Great job, sisters.
Well, I mean, except for, she went through a lot of death with her husband.
Right.
Before he got to Tobit. So the remind me of Tobit, Book of Tobit, and Book of Apocrypha. One Apocrypha book. I mean, you also could read that too, with along that to prove that's not just married.
And it reiterates the process.
There's a whole process for that.
Again, we want to reiterate, like we're saying, that sex alone is not marriage, because there was a process that everybody knew, obviously, because we see that in this account. We see that in every account. There was a process. There was, you saw the lady, you asked for her permission first. Then he asked, are you willing to go? Before he even got to he gave the dowry, a dowry, and then he went to the parents. He asked for permission from the parents. The parents did not deny him. Then he gave them some more gifts. If there was more to give, there was a dowry given in totality. Like, there is a process. So we really want to continue to let and share to everyone that, there is a process to everything. It's not just, hey, shorty, what's your name?
Hey, shorty, what's your name?
Let's get married.
And then you even see where Eleazar was like, who do you belong to? Like, he didn't even have a conversation with her.
Great job. Great point.
He wanted to go to, so we have to acknowledge that too. Like, we have to acknowledge that, okay, just because you like me, okay, that's cool and all, but look, you gotta talk to my brother, you gotta talk to my dad, you gotta talk to my uncle, like, you gotta talk to them first. You liking me, it's cool. It's been many people that like me, but you gotta, it's an order to this. It's an order.
God.
That's facts.
This sister said there's been many people that like me. And you know what? I can see that because our mother, Rebecca, was beautiful. Amen.
But that's after all that was done. That was time all the way after everything was done about it. So yeah, there's sex involved, but there's a whole bunch of order to get to that sex part.
So they consummated. As we read in Josephus, they consummated when they made it back to where Isaac was. So keep in mind that Eleazar was sent for Rebecca. He was sent for somebody, a different land. So they didn't. There is no way that you can say sex alone is marriage, because the process that took place, Isaac was nowhere present, right? So she didn't meet Isaac until she crossed back over to the land where they were.
Excellent point.
They did consummate it. So
excellent point.
To say that, it's in the print, So read, study to show yourselves approved. Sex alone is not marriage. And we're going to keep reiterating it because we see it's proof. We have more than enough proof to let you guys know. Women read. We got to protect our children, our girls.
Right.
We have to protect them because
it's a lot going on.
All right. Well, let's see what Sister says.
And to reiterate too, what they use to justify, when they do say that sex alone, when there is the group who says, sex alone is marriage, they only read one verse. They read the last verse in chapter 24, and they read verse 66 and 67, which says that, and they went into the tent. But then they don't read all of what we just read. When you go all the way back to the beginning of 24, there was a whole lot of stuff that happened, before 66 verse 66 and 67 took place. So we reiterate sex alone is not. We can go to Deuteronomy 23.
All right, looks like they're about to go to another scripture, another chapter. I would be interested in hearing more of what they had to say. I'm going to stop this video right here, and we'll do a part 3 of this peer review. I'll try to get through the whole thing. I think it's only fair to. I haven't heard them say anything that was against the scriptures. They literally read the entire chapter of Genesis chapter 24, showing that there was more than sex that happened with the marriage of our father Isaac and our mother Rebecca. Also, they read from the book of Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, book number 1, chapter 16, which is titled How Isaac Took Rebecca to Wife. Now, if you've seen anything that was in error in that video, please let it be known. Communicate, comment. All right, give a reply. I'm going to promote that the Women of Wisdom Council is built up and encouraged, and that the Zaquanium, all right, the elders of Mashra Yashala, and also that the elders of Banya Yashala take hold of this and pay attention, and hopefully will assist in addressing a much needed topic in Israel, which is sex alone is not marriage. There are families that are being destroyed. There needs to be a feminine council. There needs to be a woman council to where we will be able to entrust that our daughters will have counselors and ministers that they can also talk to. And even through that, they can bring their issues to the men and to the elders of Banya Yashala, Mashra Yashala. I think that these women did a wonderful job. I think that these women did an amazing job in their discourse. I'm going to end this video right here. Salute to everybody. Rashwan Rob, I know, and I am in agreement that Genesis chapter 24, verse 50 says that Laban and Bethuel answered. That's why I was thinking that he was there. I understand. Gonna have to research that. I agree. I know. And that's why I also said I believe that Laban was speaking for his father. And the reason being is because in the account of Josephus, it says that Rebecca said that my brother and my mother are the keepers of my virginity, but he has passed away. So if you all would like to continue this, put a 7 in the room. Let me get at least 2 7s if you would like to continue. If there's not at least 2 7s in the room, then I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I think that this peer review of this Women of Wisdom Council is going very good. Let me do a quick screen share. All right, these are the daughters that are doing this. We have Amath from the tribe of Benjamin, Herbanath Nakwa, Ashwan Ira, we have Natazar Kataria, and we have Kodash Yalad. And these women have come with more than enough proof and evidence that according to Genesis chapter 24, there's more that goes into play with marriage than just a man putting his penis inside of a woman. Sex alone is not marriage. Now, I know that your elder may have taught you that, but your elder's elder doesn't teach that. All right. So with me being a part of a respectable community that, which I don't mind saying, your elder is not my elder. Your elder is my peer, possibly even a student. All right. So with that being said, the Zaquanium who are actually studying and investigating, because you don't want nobody just having sex with your daughter or your wife. I'm sorry, that's a death sentence. You don't want nobody just having sex with your daughter or your sister or your auntie or your mother. And then all of a sudden, you know what? I'm going to give you a bill of divorce. How the hell are you going to give a woman a bill of divorce and you ain't even got a bill of marriage? So these women are doing an excellent job at teaching sex alone is not marriage. And they're teaching to women and to children. When we get to the beginning of this video, these women gave an address. Let me see something real quick. This is at 1 hour and 9 minutes. All right. 1 hour and 9 minutes. I'm going to go back to 1 hour. Okay, so we're going to stop it at 1:08, at 1 hour and 8 minutes. But let me go back to the beginning of it real quick. Let's see the beginning address that these women say. Hold that thought. Let's see.
His number is 614-999-2677. Again, this is a reading for the children and the women only. So we're going to be...
So they gave an address to the beginning saying that this video is for women and children only. So specifically saying that they are not teaching men. So you can't get around it. Hey, shalom, shalom to you, elder. All right, Zay Judah. Yabrakakai, how about Shema Shagashai? While calling Mashpakaka. Most I bless you and all your family. Double honor to your father, double honor to your mother. All right, I pray all is well. All right. So what we see is these women, they started off saying, we're not teaching men. This is for women and children only. Now, if a man chooses to watch it afterwards, you know, hey, there's no offense in that. You know, they're not in the synagogue. The elders aren't teaching, and these women are standing up and saying, nah, because baby, they ain't doing that. All right. They're in a respectable setting to where they're specifically saying, hey, this is for women and children. We are not teaching men. So here's the part that I think is pretty interesting. Us being the men of Israel and us being the heads and the leaders and the teachers of the community and the congregation, we have a responsibility to research and do our due diligence when it comes. There obviously is a problem, okay? There's obviously a problem. You got the women of Israel coming together. They're not saying we're going to all start doing witchcraft. They're not saying we're going to leave our husbands. We're going to start a lesbian community. Yeah, they're not doing that. They're saying, hear us out. They're saying sex alone is not marriage. Now, I've been teaching sex alone is not marriage up under the guidance of my elders for quite some time now. And there's so much proof and evidence. All right. If your baby brew elder is still teaching sex alone is marriage, he's doing you and your entire community a disservice. Now, for what I've seen, when I study the scriptures, I see marriage. Yahushai, for goodness sakes, Yahushai was at a wedding. All right. Yahushai, the Messiah, the master, was at a wedding. All right. These sisters read the entire book of Genesis chapter 24 in the Bible and in the book of Flavius Josephus. That's enough proof in itself. I'm going to continue this peer review on these daughters' teachings to women and children. And if they are doing good, I'm going to commend them. If there's anything that's worthy of rebuke, they will be rebuked. Now, if these daughters are teaching accurately, and if this platform is used or can be used to help other women of Israel, to help bring other daughters that may be in hurtful situations, or maybe they were taught that sex alone is marriage, and then they were put away secretly, or, you know, a Negro, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, with a woman, and all of a sudden say, let's just face the East and repent. All right. I've said that. All right. I've done that. Actually, there was a woman and she was, you know, I couldn't convince her to stay. You know, she got pregnant. She wanted to take my child. I found out that she actually did that because she was a lesbian and she only wanted to have sex with me so she could have my child and so she can run off with another woman. Yes, that's happened to me. I've been raped, and even in the truth, all right, I have been taken, okay? Okay? So with that being said, you know, I have to be like, yo, please don't sin, reconsider, don't do this. Just stay, you know, work things out, blippity bloppity bloop. You know, I knew that she gave her solidarity stance that she was going to not stay. And I had to face the East and pray, you know, along with her, you know. And it was a very heartbreaking moment at the time. But now, you know, I honestly, you know, the Most High is giving me way more, so I don't feel no kind of way about it. But the point of saying that is to say this, you know, these daughters are doing a great job. I'm going to commend them. I will be bringing up a way to help the daughters of Yashala, because you know what? Mashara Yashala has a marriage council, and my office is correspondence. So people contact me, all right? And you have no idea how many sad, terrifying horror stories we hear about women who are in these situations and they're taken and they're not, you know, kept, you know, but they're mismanaged. And a lot of it comes from poor leadership, all right? Men who don't want to take responsibility and accountability. So it's our job to read the word. These sisters did an excellent job of reading the word in detail, okay? They didn't stop and break down every verse. I had to sit here and listen through it, okay? And I would say if you men of Israel have any sisters that y'all would like to be a part of the Women of Wisdom conference calls, councils, WhatsApp, Facebook, groups, all those things, I would encourage y'all to contact one of these sisters. I'm going to pull up the screen share again. One of these sisters, all right? Kodash Yalad went. Now, remember, we're saying women only. We're not telling you men to contact these women because these women are probably going to turn you away, all right? More than likely, definitely going to turn you away. You have Ashaya Shalamath, Ratazawan, Ashwan Arab, Natazar Kataria, and Kodash Yalad. You women of Israel, all right? If you all are looking for women that you can help, and these women have an elder woman that they're up under. Her name is Amazakwan Shirah, all right? She's an international woman's minister, and her husband is Zakwan Parazah, all right? Of Mashra Banya Yashala, the original Mashra Yashala, the original Banya Yashala from the original One West. All right. Now, if you have a problem with the One West address, then that's just you having a problem with a number. But the teachings are excellent. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video off. We're going to do a She Said What? Part 3, the Most High's Will, on tomorrow. All right. And salute to the daughters who did an excellent job with this ministry. You know, I commend you. Double honors to your fathers, double honors to your mothers. All right, if anybody need me, y'all can hit me up. I'm a public servant of Mashara Yashala. You have to call me on WhatsApp. Right now, my phone is off. All right, global pandemic. So you have to contact me on an app called WhatsApp, or you can call me on Facebook Messenger. On WhatsApp, my phone number is saved in as 999-2677. Again, I am 999-2677, and you have to contact me on the app called WhatsApp. Again, I am a public minister of Mashra Yashala, so save my number into your phone, contact me, and we will get back to part 3 of this video, all right? And here's the link, all right? If anybody needs the link to this video, please go to this sister's YouTube, all right? Here's the YouTube. All right, go to her YouTube and subscribe to her YouTube, all right? This is for women. This is for women and children. It's not for men. So don't be like, oh, that sister's pretty. That sister's beautiful. I like the way she teach. I'm a whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, because you'll get rebuked, all right? So like that, you will get rebuked, all right? So these are the daughters that are teaching, all right? Please don't get your hand cut off for reaching out to another man's possession, all right? Because these women are obviously, you know, equipped with the word, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. All right. I pray that all is well. All right. It's time to grow up in the truth. It's time to grow up. All right. You can't keep teaching the same doo-doo diaper baby doctrines. All right. Okay. You have to grow up. If your elder told you sex alone was marriage and he only read to you the book of Genesis, chapter 24, the last 2 verses, and if you yourself, these women put you to shame, Don't be mad because these daughters are getting tired of you Negroes lying, talking about sex is marriage. You know how stupid that is? I have no problem. And listen, I've been on a lot of councils. I've been rebuked by elders, and I take my rebuke by my elders. Then my elders be like, well, yo, you got to do this like this now. And I'll be like, okay, you know what? I accept that. Well, guess what? I'm currently still doing what my elders tell me to do. I don't go out of pocket. If I do something and my Zaquanian rebuke me, I'll be like, oh, man, I take it. And I'll be like, all right, you know, all praise. What's the best way to do? Because you know what? That's how we did when we was in the streets. We listened to our elders in the streets. If you called yourself a gangster from back in the day and you didn't listen to your OGs, you was a renegade. You was a rebel. You was a high top flip-flop 2 ways. You got Crip on this arm. You got blood on this arm. You was a high top. You were a traitor. You were flip-flop. And we solid to this ministry around here. This is why we're fighting to help the women to have a better chance at staying and remaining holy. You got some very seriously sick people, and they're in Israel, especially those of the circumcision. You have murderers, we have molesters, we have rapists, we have liars. All of those things still exist. It's just that they put fringes over their issues. You can't be mad because these sisters, these women, are studying the Bible and are doing what we're supposed to be doing. All right. Now, you know what? No worry, Queen Tings. Yahweh Shema Alatha, double honor to your father, double honor to your mother. The lesson is still here. It's on live. You know, this is part 2. I'm going to come back and do a part 3. These daughters did an excellent job. All right, Queen Tings, I'm always happy to see you. Double honor to your father, double honor to your mother. I don't know if you have a husband or not, but double honor to him too. So these sisters did an excellent job on, and I also put the link in here. All right, it's right here on this sister's YouTube. All right, this lesson is called Women of Wisdom. It can be found on Quadash Yalad Yasha Allah's YouTube. Right now, she's at currently 13 subscribers. Let's help get this this subscriber number up so more women can be helped. All right, this video has 132 views. It was streamed live on October the 30th, and it's doing pretty good for views. So it's not about views; it's about getting this truth out. So Queen Tings, help get this this ministry out there for women of wisdom, women who want to be helped. All right, because I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna say it again. There's been too many daughters, too many councils that I've been a part of where the women are like, I don't know what to do. Am I married? Am I not? Am I a whore? Am I an adulterer? When I got with this man, I thought that we were going to be together. He told me sex was marriage. I didn't know what to do. We had sex, and then later on, he left me. I'm like, dang, for real? Especially those of the circumcision. All right, so with that being said, Queen Tings, salute to you. No worries, this video will be here. All right, it shouldn't be taken down. There was no offensiveness put into it. In the beginning of it, there's a dude humping a tree. There's 2 dudes humping trees. And that's just to show that even though they had sex with the trees, they're not married to the trees. Sex alone is not marriage. And these daughters did an excellent job of bringing that out from the Bible and from Flavius Josephus. All right, so salute to you, Queen Tings. Got it. About to subscribe now. I am married. Todah. So with that being said, Queen Tings, double honors to your father and double honors to your husband. Hey, King, my name is Isaiah Yashala, also known as Karatazaya Yashala, and I'm your brother. Also, I'm the guardian of your rib, which is my sister. All right. We working in this together to get our daughters to Christ. All right. So to you, King, husband of Queen Tings, you got a fellow brother that's working with you to help raise up all of our families in the truth. Okay. All right. So with that being said, sister, introduce me to your husband, brother. Make sure you hit me up, man, because, you know, we got to work in this together to get our families in a stable mental state of knowing and believing this word. There's a lot of tricky so-called ministers out here, and some of them are only ministering just to have dudes up under them. Okay. Ministering, you know, for vain glory. I don't know. I want us to all make it to the kingdom together. All right. So with that being said, Ani Hablakam, I love you all. Shabbat. I was about to say Shabbat Shalom. I am still in the Sabbath. Boy, I kind of wish I was, man. I got to go to school tomorrow and work on these math. That's like my arch enemy, man. That's like my arch. Hey, Shalom, Ak. All praise. Northern Kingdom definitely in the building, man. I'm just about to shut the video down, man. I need you to keep pumping out that good music, too. All right. Send me some tracks. You know, I'm a supporter. All right. Aniyav Laka. Now, she says, it's a lot that I can learn from my beloved Akwathian, and I am willing to learn. All praise the Most High. Blessings. All right. So check this out, sister. When you say sisters, you want to say AHCH. And this might have just been a typo. No big deal. You know me. WATH space Yan. Akwathian. Why? Because you have the concept down. You have the concept down correctly. It is plural, but you want to make it plural feminine. So Akwathiam is plural masculine. Akwathian is plural feminine. So use the na. Akwathian, sisters. All right. Akyam, brothers. Akwathian, sisters. All right. So I agree, man. There is a lot that we can learn from these daughters. And again, they did a wonderful job. All right. So again, here's the YouTube page. Here's the daughters that's teaching the women of wisdom council. On the beginning of the video, they blatantly said they are not teaching men. They are not. This video is only for women and children. All right. Excellent job. Excellent job. Excellent job. All right. So that's it for me, man. I'm out of here. I gotta get some rest and practice my multiplication chart. Yeah, we all still learning. No sweat. No sweat. Yo, and here go another thing. Remember this. Yahushua was not a vegan. The Bible is not full of contradictions in the beginning. Okay. Masha did not just write Genesis chapter 1 to where everybody's only supposed to be eating vegetations, and then the rest of it was put together by some weirdo scholars at Yale. We're not supposed to be doing crystals and hum and meditating. We're not supposed to be. If you meditate, you're supposed to meditate on the word. Why am I telling you this? Because I believe you're in the city gates of St. Louis, and there's some witchcraft that's coming out of St. Louis. All right. There's some certain brothers that are teaching that we're supposed to be reading out of the gospel of Essenes. All of that, all of that is trash. Okay. All of that is doo-doo, poo-poo, caca. All right. And them Negroes is just going to minister themselves into the ground. They up on, I think, lesson number 300, and they still don't make no damn sense. So with that being said, stay away from those those are some very bad, blatant false teachers. They're blatantly false teachers. Because first of all, how you going to come, you one of the strongest brews in Israel, brew, lake of fire, date with a snake and all. How you going to come with all that now, a few months later or whatever, whatever time frame later, now you teaching a whole different Yahushua. Ain't even teaching ain't teaching Jesus. Maybe Jesus was a vegan. Yahushua ate lamb for Passover. All right. So I never stop on that dumb ass doctrine. That is the dummiest doctrine ever. Like, there's some dumb doctrines out here, but that's super stupid. Thy time has Yeah, so stay consistent. Stay with the law, statutes, commandments. Stay with what you know. All right? The Gospel of the Essenes is a trash book. It is stupid. Extra super contradictory. Yo, so said Jesus was a vegan with a Jesus was a vegan with a tattoo on his thigh and a tramp stamp and 2 wings on his back shoulders. Boy, he was like, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. That's a good one. That boy Jesus was doing the Tootsie Roll with a tattoo on his thigh. And he was a vegan. That's a good one. That's funny. That's a good one. All praise. All praise. All right. But yeah, Yahushua, Yahushua wasn't no vegan, man. He ate lamb according to the law, according to the Torah. All right. So he wasn't. And then it's so stupid because they say he was a vegan. He was a Nazarite, but he was feeding people grapes. It's illegal for Nazarites to eat grapes. Like, the whole thing is stupid. Anywho, there's so many Israelites that's involved in witchcraft right now. They're teaching off doctrines, and then they make it sound like they have a higher level of understanding. And just because you're not saying what they say, you're down lower, and they've been elevated to a higher level of consciousness. Nah, they done got seduced. They done got seduced by evil spirits. All right, Negroes is off. Nigga, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. Get the hell out of here, man. Yo, whatever, man. The word vegan was invented by an Edomite, I believe, in 1970. All right. Look up etymology of vegan. Vegan ain't in the Bible. Okay. All right. I'm out of here, man. I love y'all. Yahweh Shamar Alatha, Kwame Yasharala. We're gonna come back with part 3. Please, once again, let me bring it forward one more time. Please, when y'all get a chance, man, go to the sister's YouTube page. All right, subscribe to her YouTube. All right, this lesson is called Women of Wisdom. All right, and even though they're reading the Torah, what they're doing, I want to see this 13 number, man. We got to put this number up, man. Help other sisters get led to this. All right, this sister's also a seamstress. So if you're a fellow garment maker, you know, you got another sister in the ministry. All right, so again, these daughters did an excellent job. Natazar Katharia, she's the one who the Most High used to start the Women of Wisdom ministry. She was going really strong. She's never stopped going strong. And there were some unclean spirits who attempted to tear down what the sister was doing. She wasn't teaching any off doctrines. She was helping women all over. She also does a Zoom call once a month where women, families, and their children, she gets on. These two are educators by trade. These two, the Ashwan Arab and Natazar Katharia, both of these are school teachers in the public schools, in the daycares, nurseries, all that good stuff. And Natazar Katharia, she was doing, and she still is doing, a Zoom call to where you just chime into the Zoom, and she will like have fun and games, and she'll teach your children. And it's like once a month. You can't beat it. It's like it's a family activity fun day. And all you got to do is put your children in front of the TV. She can see your children. Put them in front of the laptop. She will talk to them, play with them, tell them what to do. It'll give you and your husband some time to get away. All right? It's free daycare for Israelites. You can't beat that. All right? Ashaya Washalamoff, very powerful Benjamite sister. She's very smart. All right? Her speech is absolutely... She's got a cool way of speaking. She's really good at history, speaking the Bible. This is Nakwa, all right, Nakwa Banath, Amath, and then you have Kodash Elad, all right. So Ashwan Arab, all right, she would be the elder out of the sisters, and all of these women answer up under another elder, council of elder women. So long story short, it's a very good thing. It's beautiful. All right, I support it, you know, and from what I've seen, I haven't seen nothing off. All right, I'm done. I'm out of here. Thank you. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20 says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. All right. So, we'll do a part 3 of this. If you missed this, just go back and watch the videos. All right. They're fun. They're informative. The women are given a chance to speak. You can't beat that. They ain't told to shut up right now. Like, you know, I don't have a problem telling somebody to shut up, but there's no need to tell them to. They haven't said nothing wrong. All right. So with that being said, I pray that you daughters go back and check this out and enjoy. All praise the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. How music is always in the building. All right, one West salute to the Northern Kingdom. I love you, brethren. All right, still repenting for my father's sins. Please, I petition you, brothers, whichever one of you brothers is watching right now, if not all of you, both of you, all right, please forgive Judah. You know, if you see a Judite and the nigga's wicked or he's off, man, just try to think of me, man. You know, be like, okay, well, all of them ain't like that. That brother Karatazaya, man. That's what I was telling. I was like, yo, I might be Ephraim because you niggas is vexing the hell out of me. You know, the prophecy says that Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Negroes is vexing the hell out of me, man. I might be Ephraim, man. Just a dark-skinned Ephraim, man. I don't know, man. All right. I love you, brothers, too. All right, I pray all is well. All right, rest well. Anya Lakam, Shalom Lakam, and we'll pick this up another time. All right, part 3 of the Women of Wisdom, and y'all give y'all a report. What do y'all think? Are these women going off? All right, but don't just be a spectator. Help to participate. All right, help to participate. Okay, help and participate. You know, give our sisters. Y'all might know sisters in your own community. You know, that might be having issues. You know, we got to give them help. We have to izar. We have to assist. Okay, Ani Hablakam. I love you all. Rest well. One West salute.